Hello, 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 and welcome back to For You with Reese and Laura.
Yay, that's us.
Day 2 of our article about Autobahns.
Autobahns.
Those are those roads in Germany that don't have speed limits. Sounds scary, but I trust that they're safe if they're in Germany.
Yes. Lucky I don't drive.
Yes, me either. But if you're a good driver, you have nothing to be worried about. But today, at the top of our show, we're talking about bad drivers.
I know, although I don't drive, but like sometimes on the streets, you kind of think a lot of things that may annoy you, okay? Well, apart from excess speeding, that's a bad thing. I've heard about this a lot, okay? Basically using your horn too much.
It's so annoying.
I know, it's so noisy, but some people, this is like they should have a rule of like road courtesy or things like that, because it was on the news actually.
Oh, yeah?
That I watched. I think a person got super annoyed, and I think he or she got violent, and they went to the police station. But there's really no like rule telling you.
It's true.
How long you should hold your horn and everything.
I know that I think in the UK and other places, there are signs around residential areas that say you cannot use your horn here because people live here, and horns, they're so noisy that they can like go through your window into your bedroom. One thing I hate to see on the roads anywhere really is when people, they're at the stoplight and they see that the road ahead is full of cars, but they kind of go anyway, and they end up being stuck in the middle of the intersection.
I know, that's so bad.
And then the light changes, and then the other way is going, but they can't get through because this car is here. And it just creates a gridlock, and I'm just like, you're so stupid.
I know.
Oh, no.
Well, one thing I do think is pretty scary is road rage.
Ooh.
Yeah. Some people can get very emotional and even crazy.
My mum gets road rage.
Really? Seriously? Oh my gosh.
Shouting out of the window. What are you doing?
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
hopefully my sister's not watching this. She's like this as well.
Okay. Well, luckily we don't drive, so we're good drivers because we don't drive.
I know.
Well, let's learn more about those Autobahns in day 2 of our article.
Reading.
Highways with no speed limits? Welcome to Germany. Not everyone in Germany is a fan of the lack of speed restrictions, though. For several years, people have been trying to introduce a speed limit on all highways. It's thought that lower speeds would do less harm to the environment. Experts say a 130 km/h limit would cut harmful emissions considerably, by up to 2.2 million tons a year. Many people also believe having a speed limit would help to reduce accidents and save lives. In 2007, a speed limit was applied to a section of Autobahn, and accidents in that area dropped by around 50%. However, not everyone is in favor of a change. It seems that whatever supporters of the speed limit argue, their opponents have a response. They say the current impact on the climate is exaggerated. What's more, they doubt that a speed limit would make much of a difference. Opponents to speed limits also believe Autobahns are, in fact, very safe. There are more deaths on country roads than on Autobahns, almost 4 times as many. So, who do you think is right?
So, today's article starts by saying that not everyone in Germany is a fan of the lack of speed restrictions.
Really?
For several years, people have been trying to introduce a speed limit on all highways.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is interesting because yesterday we learned that these Autobahns mostly don't have speed limits.
Right.
They have speed recommendations.
Ah, that's right. But you don't have to follow it strictly.
Yeah, but the article is telling us that there are some people in Germany who think that we need speed limits, and they're fighting for those. Well, the article tells us more. It's thought that lower speeds would do less harm to the environment.
That's a good point.
That's a good thing, I
Yeah,
suppose.
because we'll be mentioning about how dangerous it may, be. But yeah, the environment is also very important.
Yes, and we always want to do less harm to the environment. Harm, H-A-R-M, is a verb or a noun, though here it's used as a noun. The verb harm means to hurt or injure something. Ow. And the noun is the name for that physical injury or pain. We should never do harm to animals, and the article talks about humans harming the environment with car pollution. Not good. Here's an example sentence with the noun harm. My mother always taught me not to do harm to other people. I should treat everybody nicely.
You're such a good kid.
I am.
You do treat everybody nicely.
Thank you.
OK, 然后我们看来课文他说，然而不是每个人在德国都喜欢没有这个速度的限制哦。其实好几年来，人们都试着在所有的高速公路上想要设这个速度的限制。大家呢认为低速其实是对环境比较少伤害造成伤害。我们来看一下 harm 在本课是当作名词来用，就是伤害、损害的意思哦。那我们常常会提到它的形容词，很简单，就后面接 ful harmful 就是有害的这个形容词。那回到 harm， 我们常常会看到 do harm 这样子的说法。For example, the sexual harassment scandal did his career a lot of harm. 这是提到性骚扰丑闻对他来讲造成很大的伤害哦。那另外我们还可以用 cause somebody or something harm 来表示造成什么人或什么东西有害。还有口语 we often say this a lot in conversations. She meant no harm. I think she was just joking. 就是她没有恶意啦，她只是在开玩笑。
I mean no harm.
Yes.
I would not even hurt a fly.
Oh.
Buzz. But mosquitoes.
Yeah, kill them.
The article continues here. It says experts say a 130 kilometer per hour limit would cut harmful emissions considerably by up to 2.2 million tons a year. 2.2 million tons of gas or emissions is a lot. Let's talk about this word emissions and its verb form emit. So emit means to let out or to produce, and an emission, the noun, is the thing that you let out or produce. We often use this word to talk about gases or other byproducts that are made by machines like cars or factories. Emissions are often not good for the environment, so scientists are working on making cars that give out less emissions. Now, one more word to talk about here. It's the word considerably. Considerably is an adverb, and it talks about something doing or being or having a large amount or to a large extent, greatly. The adjective considerable means the same too. Something described as considerable is big in size, number, or importance. If I have considerably less money than Laura, that means I have a lot less money. If a person is considerably lighter than they were 1 year ago, that means they lost a lot of weight. Considerably is not a little bit, it's a lot. Here's an example sentence. My brother is considerably taller than I am, even though we have the same parents.
好的，那专家是说呢，这个时速130公里会减少有害排放物多达1年220万公吨 ，That's a lot.
It's a lot.
那 emission 呢，就是排放物，它是一个名词。那刚刚有认真听 considerably 的用法吗？它是一个副词，就是相当大的、相当多的什么什么。比方像是 put on a coat, it's considerably colder today. 或者是你有没有觉得 a lot of people look considerably different from their pics on Instagram.
Oh, so true.
对呀，照片，骗人的骗。
All of that photoshopping and posing.
I know.
And good lighting.
But you look just as great looking as your pictures.
Even better.
I know, right? 你就是非常上相又本人很帅的那种。
Okay, we
Anyways.
have another word to talk about. It's the word ton. Now, it sounds like it should be spelled T-U-N, but it's actually spelled T-O-N. Ton is a noun and a ton is a measurement of weight. A ton is actually just over 1,000 kilograms. It's about 1,012, I think. It's very heavy.
好重，对。
A small car could weigh about a ton, and an adult elephant could weigh 5 or 6 tons. We can also use the word ton or tons to talk about something that is generally heavy, though we're not sure exactly how heavy. We can also use it just to mean a lot.
Yeah.
I have tons of homework to do later. Here's another example sentence. Only cars that weigh less than 4 tons can drive over this bridge.
OK. 那我们来看一下 ton 其实就是公吨，那用来就是量一个体重，其实它是还蛮重的哦。刚刚说大象有5公吨左右 ，OK。不过在口语我们常常也会用 ton 来表示怎么样很重 ，OK。像是呢。What's in the box? It weighs a ton. 或者是 I have tons of things to do today. 我真的今天超忙的。
It's a very versatile word.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the article. Many people also believe having a speed limit would help to reduce accidents and save lives.
There you
It's
go.
very important.
In 2007, a speed limit was applied to a section of Autobahn, and accidents in that area dropped by around 50%.
That's a big decrease.
I'm not surprised. OK， 可想而知哦，设定这个就是速度的限制，可以帮助减少车祸跟死亡率哦。像是举例来说，2007年有部分的德国高速公路有设限。所以呢，他们有设这个速度的限制，所以那一块那个区域哦，就掉了约1半的车祸率。
That's very good.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's good evidence that speed limits really do work.
Yes.
Well, the article tells us more. It says, however, not everyone is in favor of a change. Let's talk about this word favor before we move on. So, favor, F-A-V-O-R in American English, F-A-V-O-U-R in British English, is a noun and it can mean different things depending on the context. A favor can be something that you do to help somebody, but here, favor means approval, support, or liking for someone or something. Let me explain. If something is in favor, that means it is liked by most people. The opposite would be out of favor. That's something that's not very popular. We can talk about famous people, including politicians and kings and queens, as being in or out of favor. We can also use favor to talk about something we agree with. For example, I am in favor of changing the country's flag to something new.
OK， 可是呢，不是每一个人都很喜欢，就是很支持这个改变哦，就是要设限。这里我们看到的 favor 当作名词来用，有支持啦，或是赞同。那常常我们会用 be in favor of doing something or of something。比方像是 I talked to Tiffany about our idea, and she's all in favor of going to the party.
Cool.
OK， 这里的 all in 就是 she's in favor of， 就是 completely approves. She's going, she likes it.
Good idea. Well, the article continues with, it seems that whatever supporters of the speed limit argue, their opponents have a response. Okay, what's an opponent? Opponent is a noun, and an opponent is somebody who is working or playing against you to make you lose.
Yay.
In sports and games, you often have opponents. but we can also use it to talk about more serious matters like fights, wars, or arguments. If I'm trying to get everybody to change the country's flag, but Laura is trying to get people to say it should stay the same, Laura is my opponent. We have opposite motivations.
OK， 好啦，我们来看一下 opponent 就是反对者，因为课文提到的就是看来不管这个限速支持者怎么说呢，他们的反对者其实他们都有回应哦，就是他们可能有不同的想法。
反对者. I like that.
Yeah, opponent.
And then we also have this word response. Response is a noun with the verb form being respond.
Yes.
To respond means to answer or reply to something that was said or done to you. The noun response is the name for the thing that you say or that you give as an answer. You can give a response to a question in class, or you can write a response to a letter that was sent to you. A response doesn't have to be verbal, it could be written.
Oh.
Here's an example sentence. I knocked on the door, but I got no response. Everybody was out.
OK， 我们来看一下 response 这个字，它就是回答、回应。OK， 它是个名词，它的动词是 respond。那我们可能会有什么很正面的回应啦，就是 positive response。那相反的呢，就是 a negative response，就是负面的。OK， 那当然有时候有的人他情绪可能非常的不高兴，我们就可以说an angry response， 个生气的反应哦。比方像是 his comments sparked an angry response from the netizens， 网民。
What did he say?
有时候会这样，网络可能有人说了什么东西，就突然这个网民就开始生气气了。
I don't get involved with arguments on the internet.
I know, that's really scary. 所以不要随便乱回应东西哦。好啦，不过这里我们先来了解一下刚刚提到的句子的文法吧。当我们要表示无论怎么样都如何如何，我们可以用到这个句型哦。你可以用复合关系词，像是 whoever, whatever, wherever 等等，基本上就是由疑问词加上字尾 ever 形成，然后它所引导的关系子句可以作为副词子句，用来修饰主要子句哦。大家听讲可能觉得很复杂，我跟你讲，我举个例子，你就可能很清楚哦。像是呢 ，Whatever I suggest, Reese always disagrees。不论我建议什么 ，Reese 他就是会反对啊。
So the article continues by talking about the argument about speed limits. It says, they say the current impact on the climate is exaggerated.
Yeah, right.
夸张欸. Love this
你呀?
word. Exaggerated is an adjective, and something that is exaggerated is made out to be bigger or more important than it actually is. We often exaggerate things, which is the verb form, when we speak to be funny or to make a point. Remember when I said I have tons of homework?
Yeah.
That's an exaggeration. I don't really have tons of homework, but I do have a lot to do.
Yes.
The article talks about a problem being exaggerated. That means some people think that this problem isn't as big as other people make it seem. We shouldn't pay as much attention to it. When it comes to the climate, I don't think I agree.
Me neither.
Here's an example sentence. In the TV show The Crown, many stories about the Queen are exaggerated to make the show more interesting.
Really? I thought they were all real.
They're based on truth.
I know.
But I think there's a lot of
I love
exaggeration.
to watch it when it's more exaggerated. 可是这样子比较好看嘛。OK， 好啦，所以我们回到课文啊。他们说啊，目前对于这个气候的影响，太夸大，是浮夸啦，没有那么严重啦。So exaggerate 就是 Reese 的常常的个性。如果你有 follow 他的 Instagram 的 stories， 他常会夸张、夸大，就是 exaggerate 这个动词的意思。那有时候我们可能会想要表达说，我跟你讲，这个真的很赞，你可能就会用这个强调 ，I'm not exaggerating. This is the best pasta that I've ever had in my life.
别夸
But
张
you
呢
are. 其实就是在夸张。有时候你就说，我真的没夸张，真的很赞，这是我吃过最好吃的意大利面。Or you shouldn't believe everything she says. She tends to exaggerate. 就是如果你可能觉得有的人讲话可能都是很夸张，就是不用相信，他只是夸张一点。
I know some people like that.
I know, right?
Okay, back to the article. What's more, they doubt that a speed limit would make much of a difference.
What?
They're referring here to making a speed limit having an
climate.
effect on the climate. They don't think it would make much difference.
没错，此外呢，他们还怀疑速度，就是限制会有很大的影响在这个气候上哦，就是我们刚刚有提到说对环境的损害哦。What's more， 就是再者而且，其实常常我们用来这个来补充说明类似的用法，还有 in addition、furthermore 都是此外，而且怎么样怎么样。那 make a difference 其实有改善的意思 ，so make much of a difference 指的就是大幅改善。
You make a difference to my life.
Oh my God, same. You do too.
Okay, the article continues. Opponents to speed limits also believe autobahns are, in fact, very safe. There are more deaths on country roads than on autobahns, almost 4 times as many. So, who do you think is right? Well, there's good evidence on both
对呀，
sides.
两个都有道理耶。OK， 所以竟然在乡村的道路，你们知道吗？比德国高速公路的死亡车祸数量是怎么样？多而且是高于4倍哦，所以你有没有觉得，这个两方都有不同的说法？那么你们觉得哪个才是正确的呢？这里我们有提到倍数的用法，它是 4 times 4倍。那如果我们要表示2倍，我们就是 twice 就好了 ，twice like that band 就是周子瑜啊，子瑜。还有3次3倍，你们要怎么说？你们要用 triple。You can also say 3 times, right?
Yep.
OK， 都是可以的啦。所以这是一个倍数的说法。那我可以举一个例子好了，比方像是 That bag is 3 times the price of that one。所以是这个包包是几倍贵？是3倍，就是某个包包的3倍的贵度。OK， 就是非常贵啦。
Actually, words above 3 or triple, there are also vocabulary for that. We don't have to say 4 times. You could say quadruple.
真的哦。
And then for 5, quintuple and sextuple.
Sounds very Latin.
Yeah.
对啊，很拉丁那个字根的。
It's hard to remember, so just say 4 times or 5 times.
好了，我就直接讲数字再加 times， 就是几倍咯。
That's a lot easier. Okay, so that's the end of our 2-day article about autobahns and speed limits. You guys can continue the conversation about whether or not you think speed limits are a good thing. But for now, let's go to our For You chat question.
For You Chat.
Okay, here's our For You chat question. Do you know what the speed limits are for Taiwanese highways? 台湾的高速公路哦。Do you think speed limits are effective? Explain your answer.
So I think the speed limits for roads in Taiwan are 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah,
At least for the highways.
Yeah, and I think it's 90 kilometers per hour for like big trucks.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they have to go slower, I guess.
They should go slower because they're big, heavy things.
Can be dangerous.
But obviously the roads in the city that aren't highways have much lower speed limits because you're stopping and starting more often. I think in the UK we have speed limits of 70 miles per hour. We use miles per hour
What's
there.
like, how fast would that be in kilometers per hour?
I don't know.
Well,
I think
that's
it's
some math to do.
110 or 120
Okay,
maybe.
so it's pretty much the same. I guess.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty much the same.
It shouldn't be around 200 like in autobahns.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Super fast.
Are speed limits effective? I mean, I didn't do any studies personally, but I would like to think so, yes.
Same. I would think I think, but you know, as we were just chatting a little bit before this, I think some people, they drive super slow on highways. That could also be dangerous if it's like too slow.
Especially on highways, because if one car crashes into another, usually that can lead to something we call a pile-up, which is when like 5, 10, or 20 cars
kind of like a domino.
Yeah, end up crashing into each other. It can be super, super dangerous.
连环车祸.
So when you guys eventually get your driving licenses, please make sure you drive carefully and pay attention to the speed limit. Otherwise, you could cause an accident or get a fine.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's the end of our discussion about speed limits and highways. You guys can think about this question too, but for now, we're signing off. I'm Reese.
And I'm Laura.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Vocabulary Review.
Harm. The frog's color helps it hide from larger animals and keeps it safe from harm. Considerably. Even though the girl's teacher liked her considerably, he still couldn't let her cheat on her exam. Ton. The whale was so big, it must have weighed more than 200 tons. Favor. The mayor was not in favor of the government's plan to change a law that would affect local businesses. Response. The new law about employment drew an angry response from people in this country. Exaggerate. Susan exaggerated the pain in her leg as she wanted her boyfriend to feel sorry for her.
智慧小补帖
Emission. Opponent.